Nebraska and Iowa. Call them today at 877-404-5238. That's 877-404-5238. Or check them out online at libertylawgroup.com.
If you or anyone you care about is facing a family legal matter, call Cordell and Cordell today at 1-855-GET-LEGAL or visit CordellCordell.com to schedule your consultation.
There's a lot on the line in divorce. This is Joe Cordell of Cordell & Cordell, the largest family law firm in the country, with over 35 years of helping clients navigate divorce. But being big doesn't mean less personal or less local. Our attorneys live and work in your community, and as neighbors, they understand the challenges your families face. Divorce touches all areas of your life: your home, savings, retirement, and of course, kids. So when you find yourself facing divorce, you need a partner you can count on. Visit CordellCordell.com to schedule your consultation.
If you or anyone you care about is facing divorce, contact Cordell and Cordell today. With over 100,000 clients served, we understand the challenges you're facing on a personal level. Call Cordell and Cordell today at 1-855-GET-LEGAL. That's 1-855-GET-LEGAL. 1221 N Street, Lincoln.
Are you looking for an exciting new way to put your skills to work? Explore new career options in the fintech industry at Currency, a Sandhills Global company. We offer full-time positions in financial sales, compliance, operations, and other fields. We also offer a 4.5-day work week, an attractive benefits package, and opportunities for advancement. Put your motivation to work and grow with us at Currency. Visit gocurrency.com/careers to learn more.
Are you ready for a new opportunity? Check out Sandhills Global. Join a dynamic team where your skills are valued and your career can soar. We offer full-time positions with a 4.5-day work week, competitive pay, excellent benefits, and a positive work environment. From IT and marketing to sales and finance, we're looking for talented individuals like you. Apply today at sandhills.jobs and take the first step towards an exciting future. That's sandhills.jobs. Don't wait. Apply now.
Here at Aspen Builders, our company is building more homes today than I thought we would ever build.
Bob Benish is the founder and president of Aspen Builders, online at aspenbuildersinc.com.
You know, I am just shocked at how strong our market is here in Lincoln and at Aspen Builders. We're probably helping people right now more than ever get into a new home. We've been able to find pieces of ground we can develop affordably and keep our lot prices down a little bit. I think with our volume discounts and our office staff, 35 years of experience, we figure out a plan that's going to work great for you. We make it perfect. We make it fit your price range. All of this is part of the reason we're so busy.
Make your dream home a reality and call Aspen Builders at 423-6811. Online at aspenbuildersinc.com. Your home is waiting at Aspen Builders.
This is your year where your team takes it all the way. Win way more than bragging rights at Warhorse Casino, where your love of the game could put $1 million in your pocket. The Pro Football Frenzy is free to play with prizes all season long. Weekly cash prizes up to $1,000 cash, season-long leaderboards, and a chance to win $1 million. Only at Warhorse Casino. Wagers may only be placed on Nebraska-based teams when played outside the state of Nebraska. Must be 21 or older to gamble. Gambling problem? Call 1-833-BET-OVER.
A business's phone is the lifeline to its customers and potential clients. That's why it's so important that you can take calls seamlessly from anywhere, whether you're on the road or in the office. Hamilton Business Technologies can help ensure your phone rings wherever you are. We can equip your headquarters and any of its locations with the right tools for smooth, professional call handling. As the official business IT partner of the Huskers, we know how to keep Nebraska businesses connected. Learn more at hamiltonisbusiness.com.
When the clock strikes 0 after every Nebraska football game, there's only one place to go for instant coverage. Tune in for the Husker After Party Postgame Show on 93.7 The Ticket for each game, win or lose. Call in with all your takes or text the show at 464-5685 and hear quotes from the players and coaches, too. It's the Husker After Party Postgame Show. Sponsored by Anderson Ford and Vinny Krikak of State Farm Insurance.
Hi, Sean Callahan here of HuskerOnline.com, inviting you to join us here on 93.7 The Ticket every Saturday morning now in our new time. We're on from 8 to 9 with the weekly Husker Online radio show. We'll give you the latest in recruiting. We'll talk about what's going on with both football, basketball, and we'll probably share a few stories from the inside. It's every Saturday morning right here on 93.7 The Ticket. It's the Husker Online radio show from 8 to 9 a.m.
This is Lincoln's home for sports talk on the FM dial. Also online at theticketfm.com.
On the internet.
KNTK FM Firth, 93.7 The Ticket. This is the Adam Carriker Show.
Position right of the quarterback, out of the shotgun, 1st and 20. Jailbreak screen in the air. It is tipped. It is intercepted by Carriker at the Missouri 21-yard line.
Live from the heart of Lincoln, America, 8-year NFL vet and All-American defensive lineman Adam Carriker.
Shotgun snap to Everidge. He's got the left arm going, and now he's got a whole lot of Adam Carriker who rips him down inside the 25-yard line.
On 93.7 The Ticket and theticketfm.com. Here is your host, Adam Carriker.
All right, ladies and gentlemen, welcome into the Adam Carriker Show here on 93.7 The Ticket. The question, Jake, the question isn't who's going to win tomorrow. Did you know that? That's not the question.
I'm kind of interested in that, but okay, what's the question?
The question is, who is Nebraska now and who is UCLA now? Because depending on who the Bruins are, they're a team that won 3 games in a row and, frankly, beat some teams pretty bad, although they barely kind of skate by Maryland, a Maryland team who lost 4 games in a row and just fired their coach. Michigan State beat them by 3 touchdowns, probably the second worst team in the entire Big Ten, right behind Purdue. And, I mean, they beat Penn State, top 5 roster, bottom 5 team in the Big Ten. So I'm not trying to knock what they've done, but who are they? Who are they now? Nebraska's only beaten two teams with a winning record all year. No, I didn't say Big Ten. I didn't say FBS teams. I said teams. That includes Akron and Houston Christian. 2 teams all year who have a winning record. I was only beaten 1. Just FYI. Just throwing that out there as well. There's a lot left to be proved the rest of the season. Is this the UCLA team that couldn't keep up with G5 teams? Or is this the UCLA team that beat at the time a top 10 Penn State team, that dominated Michigan State, a team we beat by 11, but I don't feel like we dominated, and found a way to beat Maryland, kind of like a similar way that we did. There's just a lot less points in that game out of Pasadena when the Terrapins went all the way across the country to play UCLA. The Indiana game, I don't put a whole lot of stock into it. You lose by 50 to the number 2 team in the country. Okay, we knew you weren't that good. Maybe we thought you could get that hot. Maybe not. The only thing the Indiana game brings to mind is, did that stop your momentum? Did that stop your momentum? I shared this earlier this week. I'll share it again here. My second year with the Rams, we started off 0-4, had a bye week, fired our coach, promoted Jim Haslett, the guy who is the reason that the Redskins traded for me. Did I ever tell you this?
I don't think so.
About 5 weeks before the Redskins traded for me for a donut and a cup of coffee, about half a donut and a quarter of a cup of coffee, if we're being fair. I said that when they traded for me, and some people got upset. And I'm like, why? Why are you being upset? You're the one who got traded for like 3 grains of sand. I'm the one who got traded for like 3 grains of sand. Why are you upset?
What were you traded for?
I don't know. I like swapped 5th-round picks and swapped 7th-round picks. Maybe there was something else. I don't know. I don't care. I'm out walking my dogs. This was pre-children. This is how long ago this was. Pre-children. My wife and I are out walking our dogs on a Tuesday, because that's the day off you have in the NFL. Haz calls me. And this is the guy who, when I visited St. Louis before they drafted me, said, come sit here, son. I didn't know who he was. By the way, he'd been in the NFL longer than I'd been alive at that point, which was crazy. He'd been in the NFL almost, I think it was like 30. By the time, last time I saw him, it was over 30 years. But at that point in time, it was just under 30. It's like 26, 27 years. I was 23 years old. Played for the Steelers. I think defensive rookie of the year as a linebacker, certified nut job as defensive guys tend to be, and then he got into coaching for eternity. He goes, come sit here, and he looks at me, and he goes, Well, one of the scouts also was like, you might as well just start looking at property here. So anyways, he was one of the guys that really wanted me in St. Louis. He was part of the staff that got let go. He ends up in D.C. He calls me 5 weeks before they trade for me. He says, we're trying to trade for you, just so you know. 5 weeks go by. I didn't hear anything. Out of nowhere, they're like, hey, you need to go up to Spag's office. He was the head coach at the time. I walk in, Billy Devaney, who was here at Nebraska for a time. Do you recall that?
Oh, yeah, absolutely. Yeah.
So when he was here, I was like, oh, wonder what I should say about him. But anyways, I kept it professional. I walk in, he's there. He's the GM of the team. That's not good. That's not good. Impromptu meeting with the head coach. It could be whatever. I'd been up in his office a few times. You walk in, impromptu meeting, GM there. Not great. Not great. 3 hours later, I was on a flight out to D.C. So anyways, not to get confusing here, going back to the original story. Second year, St. Louis, Has is the defensive coordinator. So this is pre-DC, pre-trade, our head coach gets fired. After 4 weeks, we're 0-4. Then the head coach gets fired. Has gets promoted to interim head coach. He'd been the head coach of the New Orleans Saints. Not the St. Louis Saints, the New Orleans Saints. By the way, I hate the name Pelicans. Like, really? New Orleans Pelicans? Not to jump sports, but what is that? And we win 2 games. And we dominated the Cowboys. I remember their right tackle talking trash to Leonard Little, who had just, he's won a Super Bowl, Pro Bowler. In the middle of the game, he goes, you're a fat idiot. That star in the side of your helmet doesn't make you good at football all of a sudden. I loved it. I'm just sitting there like, this is great. This is great. After 2, they were a really good team. Marion Barber, Pro Bowlers across the front, Tony Romo, all these guys they had. We blew them off the mat. After that, never won a game the rest of the year. It was like the initial momentum and then boom. So I'm wondering if that's where UCLA is. Does their momentum continue? Does the bye week give them a chance to rebound and keep their momentum going forward? Or is it like, that was your peak, boom, now you're gonna go back to who you were at the beginning of the season? I'm curious. Who are we? Are we a team that's gonna rally around TJ Lateef? Everybody's gonna elevate their level of play? Obviously, the big question, well, how do we utilize TJ Lateef? What is the game plan? How well does he play? How effective is he? So these are all the things that I've been thinking about this week. What's that text number, that text line number there, Jake?
402-464-5685.
Text in, let us know your thoughts. You're going to have to hang in until the end of the show to get our final and official predictions. How are we doing in the college football pick'em? By the way, I switched to Gag Me, You, Gag Me, but I got the game right and they beat Vandy. How'd I do overall? I never ask you until Friday, and then I find out who we're going to pick because you're asking the games.
Yeah, we both went 4-1. Your last minute switch to Texas was good for you.
I went 4-1?
Yeah.
Oh, that's phenomenal. So I still lead you by 12, 24, 40 games? What is it?
4, but that's plenty.
Imagine where I could be and I not started 0-5. That was such an abhorrent start, man. So bad. That's all right. I'm like UCLA, except I'm just going to keep ascending. I'm not going to have the crescendo and then the downfall, hopefully. Hopefully. We'll see if the odds are in my favor. We got a whole lot of so stay tuned to the end of the show to get the pick'em, our picks for not only Nebraska, UCLA, a lot of other thoughts as well throughout the show. We're going to be joined at 12:30 by a guest who is not afraid to share his opinion. That is for sure. Love him. And he has, I don't know this factually, so I'm going to say arguably the largest website when it comes to Husker sports. Arguably, I don't have all the stats and numbers. I know he's up there. If not 1, 2, 3 at the worst. But he's never afraid to share his opinion. He's been watching Nebraska football for like 5+ decades. All right. A man I've had a relationship with over a decade. And he's actually the reason I started doing videos to begin with. Because I was writing articles. He goes, hey, Adam, for every $1 you make writing an article, you can make 6 doing a video, which I thought was phenomenal because I was making $0 writing articles. So that was great to me. So he was kind of the guy that got me into that. David Max of HuskerMax.com. All right. Let's give a shout out to some sponsors. We got some clips. We got 4 clips to get to today. Whole lot of stuff to chat about. When stuff pops in on the text line, just wave your hand or flip me off or whatever you want to do, Jake, to get my attention. All right, here we go. First of all, I want to give a shout out to Suizo Construction, where safety isn't just a policy, it is a promise. All right. Sweezo, hiring skilled craftsmen, laborers, concrete workers, and steel erectors who value quality work and a team that has your back both on and off of the job site. Apply at Sweezo.com. 40 years strong in business. Sweezo Construction, SCHWISOW.com. Also, Hamilton Telecommunications. Shout out to our good friends at Hamilton Telecommunications. They bring you the latest in quality technology and communication services since 1901. Learn more about their residential and business services at HamiltonTel.com. That's Hamilton, TEL.com. Jake, I sent you 4 clips. Surprise me with one. Whatever you feel like playing, and then we shall react.
All right. Let's start with little Matt Rule.
Dylan got out of surgery yesterday, and talked to him last night. Seems like he's in good spirits and everything went well. Gunnar Gatula got out of surgery yesterday as well, and was in good spirits. I saw him. He was in the training room this morning. So both surgeries were successful, and we're hoping and wishing those guys speedy recoveries.
So, I mean, it was on social media, a picture of Dylan. The surgery is done in New York. Seems like everything went really well. And obviously, he's out for the season. But we wish him a speedy, quick recovery. It seems like everything is off to a good start. Gunnar Gatula, that's a guy he was banged up. He missed spring ball last year. Do we know how long he's out? He's obviously done for the season. Do you have any idea what the months is?
I'm not sure.
Because it'd be huge. When you're a young player like that, missing spring ball, that is for the young players specifically. Like Joe Paterno, he used to have seniors not even participate in spring ball at times because it was about developing the young guys. So we don't know officially how long Gunnar will be out. According to Rule, everything seems to be going well with his recovery. I mean, there's 2 sophomores we're talking about, just FYI. Raiola and Gatula are both sophomores. Guys with multiple years left to play, potentially here for the University of Nebraska. So hopefully it sounds like everything's off to a good start recovery-wise, and hopefully they're both back sooner rather than later. I don't want to say especially Gatula. I know that Raiola should be back by spring ball, but especially Gatula because we need to get more consistent up front. All right, anything off the text line real quick?
Yeah, we got 0368 says, I'm optimistic that Latif will perform well with the entire week of prep as the guy. I think EJ could go off since UCLA will have to respect Latif's ability to run. With that in mind, I did want to ask you, is there a pitch count for how many design runs TJ Latif gets as a freshman here?
So, okay, let me look real quick. Height and weight, what he's listed at, and then I'll take it with a ginormous grain of salt because that's what I do. But let me look real quick because I have an idea, but I want to be specific. All right, he is listed at 6'1", 200. I mean, Emmett Johnson is technically listed at 200, but obviously he's a running back. He's kind of used to taking those hits. I don't know if there's a pitch count. And that's, you obviously don't want him to go down because he's your number 2 for a reason. He brings a unique dynamic. I've said you got to let him be TJ Latif. If you are worried about running the ball with him, then you're limiting the one thing you know you can count on because you can't coach height, you can't coach speed, and it's the one thing that's going to show up every day no matter what. Those are the 2 things. Like, you're always going to be tall. I mean, you know, some of the older folks that I know aren't as tall as they once were. I'll probably be the same way, and that's okay. But until you hit that point, you know how tall you're going to be, you know how fast you're going to be every day. And if the surface is rough, guess what? It's rough for everybody if it's bad weather or something like that. So you don't want to take that away. As far as a pitch count, I mean, I'd actually like to see him run the ball a minimum of 10 times. Can I give a minimum?
Oh, yeah.
Like a minimum. If there was a pitch count, I would say 20 because that would be a lot for a quarterback. Like, there's 3 games this year where Emmett Johnson hasn't even ran the ball 20 times. And Power 4 games. He did not run it. You know, actually, there's 5 games if you include Houston and Christian and Akron. So I would say the limit would definitely be 20. Maybe 10 to 15 is kind of that sweet spot. Jaden Maeva killed us and ran the ball 11 times. So somewhere between 10 and 15. I don't think you want to get too crazy with it, but I do think you want to utilize his skill set. Anything else?
Yeah, I think that's interesting, especially when you look at Nico. Now, he's a little bit bigger, 6'6", 215, but he averages around 10 a game. He's had as many as 16, and we'll see. I think he's going to get those in as well. Only other question here, will AJ Ferrari get his first one to the Husker Wrestler tonight?
Yes. I mean, I can dive into a lot more detail on that, but I think it's just an easy yes. What do you think?
Yeah, he doesn't. He's lost twice.
Lose much.
Right, yeah, in his career, so more than likely.
All right. Anything else real quick?
A few questions coming in. How short of a leash do you put on TJ this week?
Ooh.
Also, Jalen Gramstead did win the Heisman of the NAIA. How much of a gap is there in talent between the two quarterbacks?
Ooh, that's a question that has not been posed to me. That is interesting. How much of a leash? I think it's a long leash, and that's not an indictment on Gramstead. It's understanding you've got a young, talented quarterback, and there's going to be ups and downs. And I think if he starts to struggle, like UCLA is going to put about 13, 14 guys in the box to stop the run versus Emmett. If they could put 20, they'd put 20 in legally because that's what they're going to focus on. It's what they should do. But there's things you can do to get a guy going. There's things you can do to, I would actually run TJ early on. I would get the blood pumping. I'd get him lathered up, as my old defensive line coach used to say. We got to get you lathered up, boys. Get him lathered up. Get the nerves out and just get him into the flow of the game. Some simple completions, obviously, at some point. I'm not going to lie to you. Part of me was like, you know what we should do first play of the game? We should do play action like a deep ball down the sideline. Just send a message to UCLA. Just take a shot. Maybe we catch it. I don't know. But it's like just show them that we will threaten them deep and then do whatever you want to do after that. Do I think that happens? I don't. But that's just kind of like UCLA is going to crowd the box for obvious reasons, just like USC did until we force them to do something different. But just, hey, right out the gate, send a message. Like, who's your best one-on-one guy? Is it Dane Key? Is it Isaiah Hunter? I mean, Harburg's freaking 6'5", 240. Put him out at receiver just for the first play. Let him run a go route. Use his side. Who's their smallest DB? Do they got a guy that's like 5'8"? Try to match him up. And let's run the ball, snap it quickly before they're ready. Snap it quickly, do the play action pass, and just chuck it. As far as a leash, I think it's got to be long. That's not about Gramstead. That's about, there's going to be ups and downs. And this kid, he's going to need to work some things out. Hopefully he finds a rhythm sooner rather than later. Even if he finds a rhythm, there's going to be entertaining moments. I'll put it that way. Husker fans would say frustrating moments, exciting moments. I'll call them entertaining because that's what it's going to be. And let him work some things out. Now, if you're into the second half and let's say the first half looks like the second half of USC did, but it looks that same way the whole first half of UCLA. Then if you had to, I don't foresee this happening, but if you had to, maybe the second half, you trot out Jalen or something like that. Because then you've got almost 4 full quarters of, if we get to that point, not moving the ball great. Anything else?
Like one text just says Harburg. Somebody else goes a little bit further, says, any chance we see Harburg under center at all?
One thing I wish we'd have done this year, I wish we'd have done more Taysom Hill stuff with him. I just wish we would have. And I know we did it a few times. It was one of those things where you could tell they hadn't practiced it a lot. It was not a point of emphasis. It's not something they'd worked on a lot because it always looked terrible. It didn't look block well. It never worked. It's kind of one of those things like, all right, we got Harburg's package, 2 plays, rep it, bam, see you next week. We'll rep it again next week for 2 plays. I don't know if that's what happened. It just felt like that. I wish we'd have had a legit Taysom Hill package. And talking to Rule before the season, he goes, I was surprised. This is Rule talking to me. He goes, I was surprised. I thought we'd have Taysom Hill, and that's really not what we've done. So the problem is the more you work with Harburg at quarterback throughout the week, the less you're working with TJ. And he needs every rep he can get. So my gut says maybe we see it in a short yardage goal line situation. Maybe not. In general, I don't think we're going to see it a ton. Anything else?
2 things real quickly. I did want to tell you, Mike Locksley is not fired yet.
He's not?
At Maryland.
Somebody told me he was.
So there was a report that came out that he was going to be, but it never came official from
Maryland.
I
apologize. My bad.
He's
My
just
bad.
on the hot seat.
I think he's actually a very good football coach. I was surprised when I saw that. They got such a young, talented team.
Yeah.
Okay, thank you for correcting me. Go ahead.
And then the other one here, do you see the Huskers incorporating trickery this week offensively with TJ being more mobile and Harburg? I think about them running a modern version of Black 41 flash reverse.
I think that would be great. I would love it. You look at USC. I think I talked about this earlier. Their best pass play was the flea flicker. Their single best pass play of the game is the flea flicker. I think it doesn't take a lot to work in 1 or 2 trick plays. It doesn't take a lot of reps. It doesn't take a lot of time. And you can run your regular offense, kind of like Black 41 flash reverse. They set up that play multiple times throughout the game before they ran it in the second half, and Stunts threw it to Crouch for a touchdown. And the crowd went wild. So I think that's something that I hope we see. I hope we see that. Anything else?
One real thing, or a quick thing from YouTube here. MacDizu11 says, I just want TJ to look like he has been coached up. So I think obviously if you get the same TJ from last week, might be a long day.
I like that comment. I agree with that comment. I have nothing to add to that comment, honestly. Couple of random things, not to get completely off topic here. The Jets, do you realize they have 2 2026 first-round picks, 2 2026 second-round picks, and 3 2027 first-round picks? How much stock you putting in the Jets going forward?
None.
Okay.
It's still the Jets.
That's a fair point. All right, random. And while we're on the topic of randomness, thoughts on Pat McAfee versus his own employer, ESPN. What are your thoughts on this?
Well, I'm a YouTube TV subscriber, so I'm as mad as he is. I need college football this weekend after getting blocked out. Thankfully, I have the ESPN app because, well, not thankfully, I had to do that for WWE. But I'm not happy about it either.
Dude, he goes on ESPN and blasts ESPN. Like, this dude don't care. This dude, why does he even wear a shirt to game day? First off, everyone knows it's coming off at the end. And then this dude doesn't care. That's all I've got to say. We got a caller.
Yeah,
Go
Matthew
ahead.
and Hickman on the line. Matthew.
How you doing, Matthew?
Carriker, man, what's going on? How we doing?
Dude, life is great. How are you, my friend?
I'm good, buddy. I appreciate all that you do in the community and everything. Quick question, man. And again, I'm a baseball coach, not a football coach, so I'm hoping that you can maybe shed some light on the reason or why the speed option or the triple option wouldn't be something that just meshes up perfect against the UCLA defense. Or is there a reason people outside of the Army and Navy or the academy teams don't run it anymore? I mean, as somebody that played in the program that made it famous and, we won national championships doing so, why don't more coaches run it? Or more specifically, I guess, do you see a package being inserted for TJ and E-Boogie for something to be ran this weekend against UCLA? I'll shut up and listen, man. Appreciate all that you do, Adam. Fox, you're the man as well. Thanks, boys.
Thank you for calling in, Matthew. I appreciate it. Shout out to Bach as well. Love that. So we got asked a question that I could legit spend 2 hours on. I honestly could. So I won't divulge too much because he asked me to keep his name out of this. But there is a man who was high up in Nebraska football for decades. And at one point, he was about as high as you could be. And him and I had an off-the-record conversation, which is why I'm not going to share his name. I am going to bring him on for an interview at some point in the offseason. He did not want to chat during the season. He wanted to do it during the offseason. And he brought it up to me. He goes, I am convinced the old school power option, triple option would work in today's college football. He brought it up to me. And he goes, I'm not alone. And he named another big name who I'm not just going to randomly, if I say these names, everybody's going to know who they are. And I know I'm being the worst tease in the world right now, and I apologize. But I'm trying to articulate the gravitas of this conversation because I was like, oh, and who these people are. Long story short, they are both convinced, the individual I was talking to and the individual he spoke to because he shared with me their conversation, they are both convinced that it could work in today's college football. And he explained to me why. Well, first of all, it worked for decades. So why does it all of a sudden just evaporate and disappear? All right. But one of the things, especially versus UCLA, the worst run defense in the Big Ten. Now, in fairness, they were better in October. They were just so god-awful in September. I don't know how they were ever going to dig themselves out of the hole being the worst run defense in the Big Ten. So they were playing catch-up from the get-go, but they're still not very good at running the ball. Although Nico Iamaleava, he presents a Jaden Maeva with the read option and the ability to do things with his legs threat that has me nervous. Maybe Nebraska's better for what happened versus USC against UCLA because hopefully they've learned from what Maeva was able to do because I guarantee Nico's going to try to do it. Nico's not quite as stout, probably a little bit quicker, though. And again, UCLA's top rusher outside of their quarterback, who is their top rusher, yet they're not an option team. That's never a good thing, is one of their running backs who has 249 yards rushing this year. So not even 250. It's their top running back rusher. To get back to the initial question, I personally believe it would work. I will tell you this. I've watched a video where Tom Osborne sat right in this chair. This was a year or two ago, but things stick with me sometimes. And he said he believed it would work.
I asked that question.
Did you ask Coach Osborne that question?
I did ask Coach Osborne.
Okay. I just remember his answer. I apologize, Bob.
Well, I don't even know if I put myself in. It was more about Tom Osborne saying the option could still work.
And I'm just like, okay, well, I'll just say Osborne was the second guy being referred to. So when I say these are big names, like he was the guy. I forgot he had been right in his chair, and I'm like, okay, I can mention his name because he sat here right here and said it. So anyways, my point is I actually do think it would work. We're not going to see it because that is not the way that college football is. It's a copycat thing. It's gone to spread option, read option, RPO, that version of the option. I do think you remember we randomly saw Scott Frost run it versus Ohio State. What was that, about 6-7 years ago in the middle of the game at Memorial Stadium? Who was the running back he put at fullback? He put a running back at fullback, and we ran it for 3 or 4 plays, and it actually worked.
I can't remember who it was.
So anyways, it would be Harburg that probably goes to fullback if we were to do it. Obviously, you got Latif at quarterback, E-Money at running back. I just don't think we're going to see it. I will say this. It's just not the way college football is. It's a copycat league. The NFL is dribbled down into college football. In fact, the NFL now copies college football on a lot of things. I did make this one point to the individual I was talking to. I said, Army, Navy, Air Force. Georgia Tech doesn't do it anymore. Nobody else does it. I said, don't you think there'd be like little to no competition for recruiting these guys? Like we would be the destination for these guys to come run this offense in the country. With all due respect to Army, Navy, Air Force, those are kind of niche places to go. It would be us. And we could get the creme de la creme guys in the entire country year in and year out to run this offense. So I think it's a fair point. I do think it's an interesting topic of conversation. I just don't think it's going to happen. Does that make sense, Jake?
It does. I mean, I've been arguing it for a long time. I want to point out, too, it would be modernized. I mean, they would throw in read options, different stuff like that. It wouldn't just be what they would do back in the day. But, the other thing is, I say this often, Nebraska switched from the option to find NFL quarterbacks 20-some years ago. They've had one guy drafted, and it was Tanner Lee. So I'm just not sure that that's paid off. And then you also look at the results of the last 20 years.
In fairness, Zach Taylor was a Big 12 Offensive Player of the Year.
So was Taylor Martinez. I mean, they've had some college success. I'm just saying.
I think the closest we would come is read option RPO out of the shotgun or something like that. Now, maybe they throw in a random triple option package for goal line short yardage. That would be exciting. But as far as a consistent offensive approach, I just don't see it. Okay, so I don't even know if we're going to get to all those clips. All right, but I want to bring on our guest. We're going to take a break, bring on our guest. I hope that answered your question, and then we'll do our college football pick'em to close out the hour here in about 20 minutes or so, but don't go anywhere. We'll be right back.
Big box stores are tempting for buying equipment for your high schooler in sports or for yourself in your sports leisures. But buying new is awfully expensive. Why not go somewhere with new and used options? Play It Again Sports has quality, slightly to gently used equipment, and 50% of their inventory is actually new equipment. And it's more than baseball, softball, and golf. They also have equipment for disc golf, fitness, hockey, and more. Plus, they're always buying products. Bring your gear you're done with and get trade money on the spot. Play It Again Sports at 48th and Vine.
This is your year where your team takes it all the way. Win way more than bragging rights at Warhorse Casino, where your love of the game could put $1 million in your pocket. The Pro Football Frenzy is free to play with prizes all season long. Weekly cash prizes up to $1,000 cash, season-long leaderboards, and a chance to win $1 million. Only at Warhorse Casino. Wagers may only be placed on Nebraska-based teams when played outside the state of Nebraska. Must be 21 or older to gamble. Gambling problem? Call 1-833-BET-OVER.
Rico here with HIS Auto Care at 70th and Van Dorn, letting you know HIS is a great place to bring your vehicle for service. With superior service, bumper to bumper, we'll treat your vehicle like it's your mother's. It doesn't get any better than that. So call 402-488-8934, and HIS Auto will make you glad you did. 5% off, mention this ad, and for sure your mother will be proud you called. 402-488-8934, HIS Auto Care, 70th and Van Dorn. God bless you.
When the clock strikes 0 after every Nebraska football game, there's only one place to go for instant coverage. Tune in for the Husker After Party Postgame Show on 93.7 The Ticket for each game, win or lose. Call in with all your takes or text the show at 464-5685 and hear quotes from the players and coaches, too. It's the Husker After Party Postgame Show, sponsored by Anderson Ford and Vinny Krikak of State Farm Insurance.
Hungry for something real? Come to HF Crave, Lincoln's favorite spot for burgers that are anything but basic. Locally sourced Nebraska beef, hand-cut fries, and bold flavors that'll make your taste buds cheer. Whether you're craving the classics or ready to try something wild, they've got the burger that gets you. HF Crave. Fresh, local, craveable. Find them at 48th and Holdridge or order online at hfcrave.com.
A business's phone is the lifeline to its customers and potential clients. That's why it's so important that you can take calls seamlessly from anywhere, whether you're on the road or in the office. Hamilton Business Technologies can help ensure your phone rings wherever you are. We can equip your headquarters and any of its locations with the right tools for smooth, professional call handling. As the official business IT partner of the Huskers, we know how to keep Nebraska businesses connected. Learn more at hamiltonisbusiness.com.
From the chant of Husker Power to Allo Fiber powering your home and Husker Nation, Allo is the teammate you can trust. Whether you're streaming at home with Allo Internet, watching on the go with DirecTV through Allo, or checking stats and scores on Allo Mobile, Allo keeps you in the game. Bench the other guys and team up with the official Internet, TV, and mobile partner of the Huskers. Go Gig Red. Visit allofiber.com/Husker Radio.
If you're a homeowner or a business owner, you have a lot of projects, and no one has an unlimited budget or time. Sunbelt Rentals makes all jobs less stressful with no need to purchase large equipment or hire a crew. You can do it yourself with rentals and everything from aerators and power rakes for spring yard work to stump grinders, concrete mixers, tile saws, and more. Check out their inventory in Lincoln, north of Cornhusker Highway on 56th Street, or online at sunbeltrentals.com.
Fall is here, and so are cooler temps, darker evenings, and slick roads. Is your vehicle ready for the change in seasons? At A1 Automotive, we've got you covered. From tire checks, brake inspections, batteries, and heater systems, we make sure your car is road ready for the Nebraska winters ahead. Don't wait until the first frost. Schedule your fall car care checkup today and drive with confidence all season long. A1 Automotive, always honest answers.
Here at Aspen Builders, our company is building more homes today than I thought we would ever build.
Bob Benish is the founder and president of Aspen Builders, online at aspenbuildersinc.com.
You know, I am just shocked at how strong our market is here in Lincoln and at Aspen Builders. We're probably helping people right now more than ever get into a new home. We've been able to find pieces of ground we can develop affordably and keep our lot prices down a little bit. I think with our volume discounts and our office staff, 35 years of experience, we figure out a plan that's going to work great for you. We make it perfect. We make it fit your price range. All of this is part of the reason we're so busy.
Make your dream home a reality and call Aspen Builders at 423-6811. Online at aspenbuildersinc.com. Your home is waiting at Aspen Builders.
93.7 The Ticket, Fox, KFXL weather. Brought to you by Bryant Air Conditioning, Heating, Electrical, and Plumbing.
Your Lincoln forecast for today, a few sprinkles possible. Otherwise, we'll see decreasing clouds and breezy conditions with a high near 66. Tonight, a slight chance of showers, otherwise partly cloudy, the low around 42. And tomorrow, a chance of showers in the morning, otherwise decreasing clouds and windy, the high near 54. I'm meteorologist Kyle Fletcher for 93.7 The Ticket and theticketfm.com.
Are you ready for a new opportunity? Check out Sandhills Global. Join a dynamic team where your skills are valued and your career can soar. We offer full-time positions with a 4.5-day work week, competitive pay, excellent benefits, and a positive work environment. From IT and marketing to sales and finance, we're looking for talented individuals like you. Apply today at sandhills.jobs and take the first step towards an exciting future. That's sandhills.jobs. Don't wait. Apply now.
This is the Adam Carriker Show on 93.7 The Ticket and theticketfm.com.
Welcome back, ladies and gentlemen, to the Adam Carriker Show here on 93.7 The Ticket. We had 4 clips to show today. We're going to show one at the end about TJ Lateef, or play one, I should say. The other one was about Matt Rule's talk about mental health yesterday. What I'm going to say is never assume you know what's going on in someone's life, and remember to always err towards being kind. The other one was Nebraska basketball coach Fred Hoiberg, and I can't wait to start talking more basketball. Amy Williams, Fred Hoiberg, men's and women's, going forward in the future. I'm actually taking my twins' 4th grade basketball team to Nebraska versus Creighton on Wednesday. I think I need to mandate no blue. I think there's one random Creighton bird on our team. No blue, my friends. All right, at this time, real quick, I do want to give a shout out. All right. to Colligan of Lincoln. All right, as a former Husker and NFL player, I'm a bit of a health nut, hydration and recovery. Ladies and gentlemen, they do start at home. That's why you should team up with Colligan of Lincoln. Soft water means better showers, cleaner dishes, and it protects your water heater and appliances. Their high-efficiency softener cuts salt and water usage. For drinking, make sure you add a Colligan reverse osmosis, bottled quality water right at your tap. Great taste, and it's certified to reduce tough contaminants like lead and PFAs. Right now, get up to $300 off a whole home system, or it's just $9.95 a month for your first 3 months. Schedule your free water test at ColliganHuskers.com. That's ColliganHuskers.com. Colligan of Lincoln, water you love, go Big Red. At this time, I want to bring on our special guest, a man who's been covering Husker sports for decades, the man behind, you've probably been to his website about 5,000 million times, and ever growing, now partnered with Nebraska SI, David Max of HuskerMax.com. How you doing, my friend?
I'm doing well. Good to talk to you again. Good to see you again.
Yeah, he had me to tailgate this past Saturday. That was pretty cool. So me and my daughter were there. So thank you for having us. All right, David. One of the things I like about you is you're never afraid to share your opinion. So what are your thoughts on the Huskers season so far up to this point?
Well, I think overall, we're trending in the right direction. I mean, and like you've said many times, it all happens in the trenches. Offensive and defensive line. If they're good, we're good. And you can have the best quarterback and running back in the world, but if you don't have people blocking for them, you're in trouble. I mean, our defensive secondary is stellar, and I think that we're trending in the right direction. We may not get there as well as we hope this year, but I think next year will be another step up.
What would you consider a successful season for Nebraska? So let's say February's here, you look back on this past season, and in order for it to be a successful season in your mind, what will Nebraska have to have done?
Well, I think 8-4 with the win in the bowl game would be for a really nice offseason.
9-4, all right, 9-4. That I think that would make a lot of people happy. Talk to me, because you brought up the trenches. Obviously, we got UCLA this weekend. How do you feel about the offensive line, the defensive line, the trenches as the team travels out to Pasadena today?
Well, they're hurt. They got a lot of people out injured, and I'd like to see some of the newer guys stepping up, like Grant Bricks, for example, and he's a local Iowa guy, and we've got mutual family friends of his, and so he's kind of one of my favorites.
So when you look at a young guy, a freshman, redshirt freshman like Grant Bricks or Preston Tamua, who was highly recruited 4-star offensive lineman out of Hawaii, they came in the same class. You'd like to see these guys ready sooner rather than later, but the trenches does take a while. What are your thoughts been on the development? Whether it's been good, whether it hasn't been where we want it to be when it comes to the offensive line as a whole over the years?
Well, I'm not the resident expert, but I think we're trending sideways. We need a little bit the other direction. We need a little bit going north.
What are your thoughts? What are your keys to Nebraska versus UCLA for the Big Red getting a win? And don't give your prediction just yet, but what are your keys to the game?
Well, I think they're always pretty much the same. Win the time of possession, win the turnover battle, and have more long drives over 50 yards. That's always been my keys. If you're ahead in those three categories, you're going to win the game 9 times out of 10. And the Huskers of the past, we used to average 300 yards a game rushing, and now the last game was Emmett running, looked more like the Nebraska of old. I mean, having those 7 and 10 yards per rush game, plays was fun to see.
Yeah, David Max of Husker Mass joining us here on the Adam Carriker Show. So I asked Adam this earlier. I want to get your thoughts on it. Is there a pitch count on TJ Lateef going into this game as far as how many times do you think they will do designed runs for him?
Well, he does bring that element to the game. I mean, he's definitely more mobile than Dylan is, but I think they'll factor that in. So I think we're going to see more of the run pass option and a little bit extended playbook maybe.
What do you think the extended playbook might look like, or what might we see this weekend that's a little bit different with TJ at quarterback versus Dylan?
Well, I think we're going to see, more runs than passing, and I think, he does have an arm. I mean, he's made some long pass plays, so I think we got to keep him honest and throw it down the field, more than 15 yards a few times.
So we had the highest graded cornerback in the country this past weekend, depending on where you look, but Donovan Jones. We have the highest graded running back as well, and Emmett Johnson, according to PFSN College and their grading scale. He was graded an A-, 91.7. Jonah Coleman of Washington was number 2. What do you think has helped make Emmett such a good running back this year? Because for him to produce the way he has, and the offensive line has been inconsistent, but what do you think makes him such an effective running back?
Well, he knows how to find the holes. I mean, if they're not there, he creates new ones, and I think that's something that not every running back does. And I think that's he's like a Barry Sanders type when it comes to that running style.
Yeah, there's sometimes he pops out of a little hole that I didn't even know it existed. I have to stop, rewind the play, and go in slow-mo just to try to find it. He did it in real time and real speed. And he's also able to set up the hole. Like, he can almost set up the block so the defender ends up on one side and he pops out the other way somehow. So he's done a really good job of that. All right, talk to us about some of your, because you've covered Husker football at a high level for years. What are some of your favorite memories from Nebraska football from over the years?
Well, obviously the national championship games. I mean, the 94 national championship against Miami was probably one standout. I mean, it was. I actually went to the games with my mother, and we were able to get. We had 3 tickets, and my dad had recently passed away before that, and so I never sold that 3rd ticket. I just left it for him. And some lady put her coat in that chair and said, "Hey, that chair's taken." So she took it away. and as back then, cell phones weren't a big deal. So after the game, we went back to the team hotel, and everybody was lined up in the phone booths, to call home and talk about it. And so that was kind of a unique memory. And
I love that.
And my of course he's retired now, so I can talk about him. But my brother-in-law is Butch Hugg. He's married to my sister, and so he arranged for Mom and I to ride on the team bus going to the game. And so we rode with all the coaches and coaches' families and everything. So we were in the last bus, and they shut down the entire freeway. So we just waltzed right into the stadium and got there. And then after the game, when we pulled off the win, nobody left on the Nebraska side. You look across and the Miami side is completely empty, and the Nebraska side is still full. So yep. We're just all soaking it in. And so then we started heading back to the bus and stopped and bought a few programs. And then Mom and I were the last ones to get back on the bus, and Butch was pissed. He likes to be on time. So that was quite a memory. And then we get back to the team hotel in Miami Beach, and the place is a zoo. I mean, there's all the radio stations have tables set up out in the middle of the main courtyard inside, and doing interviews, and people were just having, like I said, people were going down to the phone booths and all of that, and we partied until like 5 a.m.
That's all right. That's something worth celebrating right there. All right, man. Talk to us about HuskerMax.com, Nebraska SI. What do the people need to know for those who may not be familiar with it?
Well, we got the opportunity to do the Nebraska coverage for Sports Illustrated in 2021. And we've been doing it since that time. And Sports Illustrated covers 75 college sites. And guess out of those 75, who's number one?
I would guess Nebraska.
You're right.
Yep.
And by a large margin. And, and that, when we first started with them, we had just about 4 or 5 writers. Now we have over 30 writers, including you. and not everybody writes an article every week, but we publish more articles probably than anybody, any other of the other sites. And, I think, from a volume perspective, we are probably the number one Nebraska sports media company in the country. So, and the state so that's been, kind of a source of pride. I mean, I wish my parents were still alive to appreciate it, but it's been a passion. And of course, obviously Nebraska football has been a passion. I became a fan in 1962 in Bob Devaney's first year listening on the radio. And Dad bought the season tickets in 1964, and I sat in those tickets last week for the USC game.
Oh, very cool. That's awesome. I like the story about how you kept the seat open for your dad as well at that 95 Orange Bowl. That's pretty cool. Like, hey, don't put that coat there. That seat's taken. That's pretty cool. I like that. Do you got a official prediction for the good guys versus the other guys, Nebraska versus UCLA this Saturday?
Well, I came at my prediction. I was going to do a reverse from the 1972 game when Tom Osborne lost his first game 17-20.
Oh, okay.
So I'm going with 2017 Nebraska this week, tomorrow.
I like it. Well, David, I appreciate you taking the time. Thanks for joining us.
All right. Thank you.
All right. Don't go anywhere, ladies and gentlemen. We'll be right back.
If one of the things running through your mind as a business owner is the recurring worry of possible cyber attacks, you can let out a sigh of relief. Hamilton Business Technologies has you covered. As the official business IT partner of the Huskers, we offer real-time threat monitoring, advanced security protocols, and more to keep your data safe from harm. We care about the success of Nebraska businesses and communities like yours. Learn how we can help you at hamiltonisbusiness.com.
Are you ready for a new opportunity? Check out Sandhills Global. Join a dynamic team where your skills are valued and your career can soar. We offer full-time positions with a 4.5-day work week, competitive pay, excellent benefits, and a positive work environment. From IT and marketing to sales and finance, we're looking for talented individuals like you. Apply today at sandhills.jobs and take the first step towards an exciting future. That's sandhills.jobs. Don't wait. Apply now.
Tune in every Sunday from 3 to 5 p.m. for The Law of Lift with Dr. Lawrence Chatters. Sit back and enjoy listening to Dr. Chatters discuss real stories involving struggle, inspiration, and real-life experiences with special guests and insights. Remember, the higher the pressure, the greater the lift. The Law of Lift with Dr. Lawrence Chatters. Every Sunday from 3 to 5 p.m. right here on 93.7 The Ticket and theticketfm.com.
Attention all Wings fans. Buffalo Wings and Rings has daily specials that will make you want to stop in on all days of the week. Kids eat free on Mondays, and on Tuesdays, enjoy 40% off boneless or traditional wings at a price that makes the whole family happy. And come back on Wednesdays for $1.39 chicken tenders all day long. Get to Wings and Rings today, 68th and O, or in Williamsburg Village. Big box stores are tempting for buying equipment for your high schooler in sports or for yourself in your sports leisures. But buying new is awfully expensive. Why not go somewhere with new and used options? Play It Again Sports has quality, slightly to gently used equipment, and 50% of their inventory is actually new equipment. And it's more than baseball, softball, and golf. They also have equipment for disc golf, fitness, hockey, and more. Plus, they're always buying products. Bring your gear you're done with and get trade money on the spot. Play It Again Sports at 48th and Vine.
From the chant of Husker Power to Allo Fiber powering your home and Husker Nation, Allo is the teammate you can trust. Whether you're streaming at home with Allo Internet, watching on the go with DirecTV through Allo, or checking stats and scores on Allo Mobile, Allo keeps you in the game. Bench the other guys and team up with the official internet, TV, and mobile partner of the Huskers. Go Gig Red. Visit allofiber.com/Husker Radio. Sometimes good people make mistakes. When you find yourself in need of an attorney, call Liberty Law Group. The attorneys at Liberty Law Group will defend you in court and protect your freedom to get you the best possible outcome and the justice you deserve. Trust your freedom to Liberty Law Group, the best criminal attorneys in Nebraska and Iowa. Call them today at 877-404-5238. That's 877-404-5238. Or check them out online at libertylawgroup.com.
Get rid of pesky critters once and for all with Bats to Rats. Their expert team is here to help you reclaim your home. No more sleepless nights caused by crawling critters or flapping wings. Bats to Rats ensures a safe environment for every family member. Check the website at batstoRats.com for amazing offers. And if you mention this ad, you'll receive $10 off your initial inspection cost. Call Bats to Rats today at 402-781-8691. That's 402-781-8691. Bats to Rats.
If you're a homeowner or a business owner, you have a lot of projects, and no one has an unlimited budget or time. Sunbelt Rentals makes all jobs less stressful with no need to purchase large equipment or hire a crew. You can do it yourself with rentals and everything from aerators and power rakes for spring yard work to stump grinders, concrete mixers, tile saws, and more. Check out their inventory in Lincoln, north of Cornhusker Highway on 56th Street, or online at sunbeltrentals.com.
This is the Adam Carriker Show on 93.7 The Ticket and theticketfm.com.
Boom! Welcome back, ladies and gentlemen, to the Adam Carriker Show. It's pick'em time. We got a TJ Lateef clip that we're going to play as well. Also, real quick, before we get into that, I want to give a shout out to Mulberry Barbecue. They have 2 locations, numero dos locaciones. That's proper Spanish right there. At 11th at Cornhusker and at 61st and Apples Way, right off of Highway 2 by Lowe's. Both locations are open Monday through Saturday from 11 a.m. to 8 p.m. Try their burn-in sandwich, a brisket burrito, barbecue nachos, full slab of ribs, half-smoked chicken, and much, much more. Plus, incredible size. Get fueled for lunch today or make your dinner plans at Mulberry Barbecue, located at 11th and Cornhusker and at 61st and Apples Way. So we're going to play this TJ Lateef clip real quickly. Just a reminder, this dude is from California, so he's basically going back home, Compton, to play at UCLA in Pasadena in the Rose Bowl. He was a 4-star prospect. All right. And Rule praised his arm talent. So it's not just his ability to run. I know that excites Nebraska folks for obvious reasons, but he has arm talent, okay? When you're a young quarterback, the reads, the progressions, the consistency, the accuracy, that's what takes time to develop. So we'll see how he does Saturday. But so far in the season, he's completed 16 of 18 passes, 84.2%. All right, with a passing touchdown. He has 50 yards rushing, 2 touchdowns on the ground through the 3 games he's appeared in so far. Okay, Jake, go ahead and roll that clip.
Anytime you're going to undertake something big, it's nice to know that you don't have to do it alone. You know, when you feel like you're doing something on your own, you know, it puts tremendous pressure and strain. When you feel like you're a part of a group that's going to go do something, it provides joy that you get to be a part of it. And so, I mean, even out there at practice today, I mean, we're out there in helmets and spiders, and Dane makes a diving catch in the end zone. Like, I'm not used to seeing guys dive in spiders, you know, and not in pads, but I think there's a focus around making sure that everybody does their job at a high level. And I think we all are excited, not just like, hey, we're going to support TJ. We're excited for TJ, and we want to see him go out there and play. You know, Eric Crouch was out of practice today, and he was talking to TJ like, hey, let it rip, man. So I think we're excited to see what he can do.
To be clear, that clip was about TJ. That was not TJ. I think I said it was TJ, about TJ beforehand. But he's right. One of the big keys to this game is how the rest of the team does or does not. Hopefully they do elevate their level of play quite a bit around TJ. All right. I do wonder, because you remember Nico Iamaleava was at Tennessee, the same place Mike Eckler was at the past few years. I wonder what kind of insight Coach Eck has on good old Nico that he may have shared with Rule and Butler and the Nebraska coaching staff. That hasn't been talked about a ton, but I'm just kind of curious, you know, what type of insights there might be. All right, here's a fun stat. 9 SEC teams were featured in this year's initial college football playoff rankings, tied for the most of any conference all time. ESPN SEC bias. All right, what's next, Jake? Would you like to do the college football pick'em?
We got plenty of SEC top 25 matchups to break down here.
How thrilled I was to share that stat, but it was necessary. So go ahead. What do we got?
Well, let's start off with a Friday night. Could be the group of 5 matchup of the year. Tulane at Memphis. Memphis favored by 3.5.
I'm not going to lie to you. I had no idea they were even playing. And I know Tulane started hot, looked pretty good, and they've lost a couple games since, kind of similar to USF. I still think USF gets the G5 spot. I'm going to go with Tulane in this matchup, though.
Wow, going with Tulane.
Why is that a wow? Again, I don't know much about this particular game.
It's not a wow.
Now I want to switch.
No.
Who are you picking? I want to switch now.
No. I just said that because I thought you were going with Memphis. I'll go with Memphis. I want to look out for San Diego State for the group of 5 as well coming up.
I remember them being good, like with Marshall Faulk. Remember in like 91, they were a top team in the country. They played Miami. They brawled into the stands. Dwayne The Rock Johnson has talked about that at one point. All right, who's next?
Let's jump to the matchup of the year in the Big 12. BYU, number 7, at number 8, Texas Tech. $380 to get in. Texas Tech, 10.5-point favorites.
So the last time College Game Day was at Texas Tech was 2008. Texas Tech, Mike Leach, Michael Crabtree makes the game-winning catch, all-go routes, which they practiced all week. And the players were kind of like, why do we keep doing this? And Mike Leach is like, we don't have to do a million things. We just need to be really good at what we do. And at some point, this all-go 4 vertical routes going to come in and make a big difference. And Michael Crabtree gets the game-winning touchdown catch. Top 10 Texas Tech beats top 10 Texas at the time. All right, last time College Game Day was there, and it was pandemonium. I remember watching that in my kitchen in St. Louis while I was still with the Rams. You look at this game in particular, this is the game of the weekend. BYU averages over 5 yards per carry. They have not trailed much this year. They have the 88th best pass offense in the country. I was a little bit more prepared for this game, Jake, than Tulane, Memphis. All right. Now, they haven't played a tough schedule. Really only played one decent team, and Utah's a good team, but they won the turnover battle decisively in that game. And, in fact, BYU is 3rd in the country when it comes to turnover margin. Here is a scheduling thing that has not been pointed out about Nebraska, UCLA that I'm going to point out here at BYU, Texas Tech, and I'm going to point it out again in a minute with Nebraska, UCLA. BYU is coming off a bye. Texas Tech, this is their 6th straight game. That matters at this point in the season. You look at Tech. They're the number one team in the country when it comes to explosive plays on offense. They're in the 99th percentile. So basically in the top 1%. When it comes to causing havoc on defense, they're the number one run defense in the country. They're in the top 25 in the country offensively and defensively. And again, this is I was going to take Tech hands down. Turnovers could be an issue, but this is their 6th game in a row. BYU's off a bye. That all being said, give me Tech. I'm going with Tech on this.
I like how you set it up there. I'm going with Tech too. Go a little quicker here.
Okay,
number 3, Texas A&M at number 22, Missouri.
A&M.
Yeah, I'm going to A&M as well. How about Oregon at Iowa? Kirk Herbstreit's let it be known he's going with Iowa. How about you?
Dude, it's supposed to be like a tsunami. Did you know that?
Yeah.
Like it's supposed to be insanity. That helps Iowa so much. Iowa doesn't beat really good teams, and they don't win highly ranked games. Oregon. In a rear-end, ugly tsunami game.
I got Oregon as well. Nebraska at UCLA at the Rose Bowl. UCLA favored by 1.5.
So here it is. UCLA's coming off a bye. This is our 6th straight game. We have to travel halfway across the country. 2 time zone changes. It's a late night game. It's going to start at 8 p.m. our time. It's going to end at like midnight our time. Jake, give me Nebraska.
I'm going with Nebraska as well. I love it. You're good at that setup.
All right, ladies and gentlemen, have a glorious weekend. Go Big Red Nose. Remember to throw them bones.
Here at Aspen Builders, our company is building more homes today than I thought we would ever build.
Bob Benish is the founder and president of Aspen Builders, online at aspenbuildersinc.com.
You know, I am just shocked at how strong our market is here in Lincoln and at Aspen Builders. We're probably helping people right now more than ever get into a new home. We've been able to find pieces of ground we can develop affordably and keep our lot prices down a little bit. I think with our volume discounts and our office staff, 35 years of experience, we figure out a plan that's going to work great for you. We make it perfect. We make it fit your price range. All of this is part of the reason we're so busy.
Make your dream home a reality and call Aspen Builders at 4